Oh, there's a
Yeah, and
flag.
just
Of course, there's a
was there a
flag.
flag? Was there a
Of
flag?
course,
I was
there's a
going to say,
flag.
just to clear up any confusion, Drew,
Um,
that field goal was not made. We went into last
well,
week's
there's a
halftime. The
flag. They're
last, yeah,
gonna,
but they're going to
so
get to
they're probably gonna
re-kick
get
it.
another kick. Man,
Speaking of big rigs,
I don't understand what's going on in this game at all.
this game sucks, dude. Like, there's way worse like
Of
matchups
course,
we've
man.
had. We've had bad teams play each other on Thursdays. This game sucks 100 times worse than those.
That was a pretty clear offsides. Marlon Humphrey, you dingus.
And the field goal is good this time,
It's good this
of
time.
course. Um, yeah. Anyone asking? There's already a question about first coach fired. Book by book discretion, but 99% are going to just be anyone that leaves their post. Fired, resigned, kidnapped, lost at sea. There's a numerous amount of ways where you can be. And you know what? Again, the Gruden thing, whatever. Urban, we probably made a good move with the Urban thing and just got sideswiped by this Gruden stuff, which apparently the NFL or somebody was sitting on. I'm reading now that they knew about this that Raiders knew about this on Friday, and I'm guessing the NFL's like, oh, you're not doing anything about it. We're gonna have to just release these then. So messy situation out there, and the special teams coach will take over. Gus Bradley remains defensive coordinator.
Is he going to take over as interim?
No, the special teams
Oh,
coach is
special
interim.
teams. Oh, I said I didn't hear that.
It starts with a B. I'm not familiar with the guy. I think they're going the Giants route. Like, we're gonna go with a special teams coach, and yeah, the Broncos are getting hit.
Rightfully so,
Obviously,
probably.
rightfully so. It's gonna be a messy week for them for prepping,
Easy,
and they're
easy
already.
skip that game. Easy.
Yep, I'm not
Um,
jumping on that.
um, yeah,
This game, but yeah, back to this
this
game.
was
We'll get
that
we'll get to that in overtime.
Urban Meyer first coach fired. What a bad beat.
Yeah,
The
he
Jags,
did. You know
the
what?
Jags
He
actually
did
have covered
everything.
it to do it. Even the Jags can absolutely actually maybe they can't because they had fired with cause probably in their pocket last week. Maybe
Yep.
they don't now. I don't know. I have no idea how this stuff works. All I know is this was a bad beat.
I know somebody just asked about the money,
50-1.
like what Gruden's money was. I don't know.
He
Like,
had 10 million a
how,
year for the next 6 years, right? So 60 million. They work out
yeah, but
some kind of parting
I'm
compensation.
sure. I'm
Probably
sure there's some
get
sort
some
of back
golden
end deal.
parachute.
Yeah,
Oh, he resigned. Oh, okay. That's a good point. He
that,
did.
that's the that's the thing.
I don't
I'm
know.
sure when he resigned, they worked out like, hey, we'll give you some money or something. Who knows? We may never know the details of that. We'll probably dig into more on that in overtime. I want to talk about how bad the Ravens' defense has looked at times today
Well,
against. I mean, but against the short stuff, like they're giving them the short stuff. The Colts are taking the short stuff, and the Ravens are not tackling well enough to. Because you can do that. Hey, we'll give you the short stuff, and we'll give you like, hey, here's 4 yards on first down, 3 yards on second down, and then you have a third and short, and the Ravens stop it. Like that's the sort of defense that works with this sort of thing. They're just not like they're not making tackles. Like, hey, this should be a 4 yard dump off pass on first down. They missed the tackle. It goes for 8. Like they're letting them get a little too much on the short underneath shit and this running game shit with Marlon Mack getting multiple carries and being successful of it. So
yeah.
the Ravens can
I mean,
their offense is not good right now.
you see this happen from time to time where you have a meaningful home favorite in a primetime spot and they come out flat, and the Ravens have come out flat. But the fact that they're only down 7, considering the fact that they are getting badly beaten in the trenches on both sides of the football, they've taken the Colts' best shot. Do the Colts continue to have a higher energy level in the second half? Remains to be seen. I would guess there's probably a little bit of I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens get a stop, get a touchdown, and then this becomes sort of a field position, coin flippy kind of game. Ravens probably eke out a win. Do not eke out a cover would be my gut. I think this
Yeah,
lands
I think if
comfortably
you
under
got
the
the
total
late,
still.
if you got that late 7.5, you're feeling very good. I think that's probably pretty safe without trying to jinx your bets. Sorry, guys. Ravens are obviously favored in the second half as the touchdown favorite before the game. Total 24.5. Highish, right?
So Colts, that's surprising that they're giving us Ravens -4 because that means Colts win by a field goal. Ravens, you get a push. So basically, you get that's a very favorable line.
I think there's some sixes out there too, and maybe that's already been moved up. I mean, we can double check. I'm seeing some people saying they've taken the Colts +6 in the chat. So yeah, the Ravens, I just shit on the defense. They know what they're doing. They're going to give you that, and then try to stop them on third and short, third and medium. But it's not working for the most part. They've been, they're lucky. They got the turnover down in the red zone. They got the big sack on the quarterback blitz to end another drive.
Yeah,
like they've lucked out a little at the end there with some aggressive play calling and just a nice sack. But man, the offense is not doing it for me right now. And yeah, that total is on the wrong side of 24, right?
I'm seeing 23.5.
Yeah, it ticked down. It ticked down right away. So I think we missed the best of the numbers sitting talking about Gruden. First score field goal.
Yeah, now the Ravens are -5, -104. I think the Ravens are the right side. I would have made it 6 personally.
Does somebody have a Sammy Watkins update? I didn't catch if he was back in. I honestly just muted it because I was sitting there watching all the Gruden stuff come across the feed.
How about a Ryan Kelly update?
Yeah, there was a couple people that got injured. Cleveland's out.
Cleveland's out, but he's a rookie.
Yeah.
I would love a Ryan Kelly update because he has been setting the tone for that offense in a lot of ways. Let's track that down before we make this play because if Ryan
Kelly is in, back, Watkins is out. It says
Kelly is in. Oh.
I got a Sammy Watkins update. He's a biatch. That's what someone said in the chat. That doesn't seem like an official statement. It said somebody said I thought Kelly just got poked in the eye.
Oh, was that it? Oh, I thought it was
this game is unwatchable without a bet on it.
Yeah,
that's pretty fair.
In. Kelly is back.
What's a Twitch drops, Joey? I don't know what that means. If you tell me, I'll do it. And yes, Twitch gang representing tonight. Thank you.
All right.
I thought the Watkins thing, I thought it was a concussion because he got his ass rung. Like when he got hit he got knocked back 4 yards on that catch across the kind of on the middle off to the left side of the field. Yeah. I was surprised it was a hamstring injury of all things. Kelly played the last snap of the half.
I confirming that as well. Same. He was on the field to round out that half. He will probably be fine in the second half. So there's no angle there, no edge there. I think the Ravens are still the right side. Again, I don't know that the physicality with which the Colts are winning one-on-ones in the trenches, in my opinion, will likely abate as we get into the second half because those big guys just get tired. It becomes less important, and their edges were relatively narrow. A lot of Kelly's being thrown around on the broadcast. That's true. Big Ten Lotto. The Ravens.
I'm surprised he knows how Twitch works. Lotto's like 45.
Ravens are taking money. They went from -104 to -113 now, still at the current price of 5. The under total is old news. No one wants anything to do with this total. I think everybody who liked the under in this game has a pregame under, so they're comfortable sitting pat. Anyone who had the over is probably doing a little chasing of the second half over here with 23.5, but that's a pretty good number. The Ravens missed a couple of plays that were just right there for the taking. I think I want to be Ravens, but I was
going to say,
I will be talked out of it.
Sell me the Ravens. Sell me how the Ravens get the offense going, because that's the important part. Like, so to cover this, they're going to have to score. What's the minimum they have to? Obviously, the minimum would be like, they score 2 field goals. And that's it. Minimum, realistically, the minimum points that the Ravens have to score in the second half to cover this.
13,
14?
13.
Like, fine. What does Lamar do? What is this? I mean, honestly, the running game do? What is the scheme, the
Well, the
sequencing?
running
What are they
game
going to
is
do differently?
useless. The running game
Very.
is not going to be utilized. I would think this is a lot of passing, but there's ways they know how to do that, and they can book it. They can beat them through the air. They've shown it already. Have not yet really seen them utilize some of the other receivers in the game besides Andrews. I guess Duvernay surprisingly has gotten a handful of looks, 2 looks. Marquise Brown has been targeted once to this point. Sammy Watkins, you mentioned already. But I'm more interested actually in the Ravens defense doing better in the second half. A lot of that last drive by Wentz, he was starting to airmail balls. He's starting to feel the pocket crumbling a little bit. You can kind of get the sense that he's aware of how important the sack fumble was and the second sack that really took them out of scoring position, and the fact they got no points on either of those 2 10-play drives, I think is potentially a problem. I would guess. Colts money came in. We got an even better price right now on Ravens -5.
Here we go.
Whoever was listening to my sales pitch for the Ravens was not impressed, and they went and they waxed the Colts at 5. So that apparently is the sharp side here.
I don't know. There were some 4.5s in the market early, so it's kind of been bouncing. Here's a lock. The Ravens will run the ball at every first down.
When we were talking about 5, it was 113. Now it's 103, so a lot cheaper now. I think the Ravens are the right side.
I'll ride with you here. I don't have a strong opinion on this game. This would be a no bet, but I'm team Ravens -5. I think honestly, is it a better coach? I think Reich, I respect a lot. It's still probably a better coaching staff, better quarterback, more mobile, more weapons on the outside. They should be able to get something done here in the offense.
Okay. I played Ravens -5, -103. That is in the books.
I'm learning about Twitch here in the chat. Like there's loot. It's a gamer thing. You can get skins, etc. for certain games, special loot. I don't have any loot.
Some loot. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get you some loot.
Drops.
That'll be my thing to look up in the morning. How do I do that?
Let's
6 people on Twitch.
Anything else you played this week that you want to tell people about early here that they can get down on if they're so inclined?
No, I just what? Honestly, the amount of people in the chat on Sunday night that had said they had some Cowboys in pocket, just tear to my eye. Just seeing some of these people.
Yep.
Just
got the ones. Just
doing so well, reading the market, getting ahead of it, grabbing a good number, made me jealous. I told you I sold out to the 4. Now it is a 4 anyway, so I got a really cheap. I got
4.5.
So I've got a cheap. I think I got 4 plus 101 or 4 just even money. So 4.5. That's going to continue to get steamed. It wouldn't be surprising if Denver took some money just based on this mess. Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year odds. Dan Campbell is, God damn it, I hate myself for loving him now. Like he's such a tryhard, and I can't hate on him anymore. He's not going to win Coach of the Year. He might not win very many games at all. I did do a little bit of a rehash of all the regular season win totals that I talked about during the summer and gave out on Brown Bag Bets. A couple of them are dead in the water already. The Bengals and Cardinals for sure. Those unders are dead. But
Bengals are only 2 and 3, right?
I played them at an alternate. I played an alt under 3.5.
Oh, okay.
I didn't pay juice, I guess, but no. The Washington football team under, the Bills over, and the Chiefs under looked pretty good. So, I was just kind of looking at records. That's something fun to do this time of year. Go look at strength of schedule remaining, try to figure out how some of these things hash out. Maybe make yourself a little bit of a, however you want to do it, even if you're just doing it in a fun little spreadsheet. Do a little bit of a what do you call it? A simulation, how you think the rest of the season hashes out, see how things end up. And then Raiders under 7.5. Undertaker Jeff, for sure.
It's back, baby.
It's back.
Hey, a couple
talk
of
about
thoughts on the market.
Talk about the Browns total. That under got smacked. We were right to avoid it.
Yeah,
as the weather is looking a little iffy by the lake.
Yeah, probably going to be in the 16 to 20 mile an hour range. And that could obviously revise as we get closer. Any higher, and you got yourself a real problem. Kyler Murray also got yourself a real problem with that shoulder. Max Williams done for the season,
Yeah.
probably. He had been a pretty important part of that passing attack. So there's a number of things going against the Cardinals. I got involved with the Browns on that one at 2.5. Expecting them to bounce back from a hard-fought loss against the Chargers. Not a great number, obviously, but I think that closes 3 once we get some more injury reports from Arizona and the wind information settles into the market. I think the suspect parts of Cleveland's defense, I think, are less exposable, especially if it's a weather game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like some people looked at that one right away and like, what the hell is this? Why am I getting the Cardinals so cheap? I don't know. Like that's probably that's probably should be closer to a pick 'em. The Cardinals are very good, but so are the Browns. The Browns have lost to a couple of really, really good teams. They have had some injuries. That's been rough for them. But man, they really didn't do a whole lot wrong outside of just getting exposed a little in the secondary by a very good passing attack. Really, I think they were +1 in turnover margin. They
Colts coming right out with
outgained.
a big play.
Yeah, they outgained them, and it just I think it was another couple fourth downs. They've had bad luck on fourth downs. Can somebody maybe add up all of the runs, all of the hits, and all of the errors in the Red Sox game? Let me know what that's at right now. If anybody,
I will comment on a couple other things that I'm looking at this week. I'm looking at Green Bay at 4.5. I make that number a lot bigger. I'm looking at Tampa at a -7 +100 right now. I make that number bigger. And plus we get the fade the rookie head coach on Thursday Night Football angle. Tampa Bay tends to get that Thursday night game every year, and they do wonders with it. So, just a prayer, and it's a touchdown Colts.
but the RSW hit run errors is over. So
yeah,
well,
not a great week.
How about that understeam?
Oh, for the full game?
For the second half.
For the second half, yeah, that was quick. I mean,
who scored?
It looked like Pittman.
This is
unless they call this back from OPI, which I doubt, which would be absolutely insane to me.
It's pretty standard for our second half plays. Whatever, we should start betting against that. The Ravens D sleepwalking. Yeah, Green Bay never putting teams away. Yeah, that's a little concerning for them. But I agree with both of your Bay takes. I made Tampa Bay a bigger number last week. Didn't pull the trigger due to the injuries, and also I didn't feel like laying 11 or whatever it was, 10.5 with them.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been. And you made some compelling cases for Miami. Just
how about
wasn't going to happen. The Green Bay one too. I make that bigger.
2 other plays I want your opinion on. Minnesota plus money line against Carolina on the road. I make that game wrong team favored. Any opinion?
I have Minnesota on the right side of the 0 mark or whatever you want to put it, the origin. They're slightly above the average team, and Carolina is now slightly below, but it's on the road. So I have that as a pick 'em, like almost exactly now. I will be updating my numbers Tuesday afternoon. So if you're getting plus money on Minnesota, I'd probably lean that way. You want to get back in bed with Zimmer. Zimmer, the coaching at the end of the game was pretty suspect. I don't want to say hopefully he learned his lesson, because he's been in the league long enough. He's been coaching. He's been a head coach for 7-8 years now, I think. I'm just not sure he's going to learn his lesson. So that one's a little sketchy. I'm going to bet field goals under in every game and just laugh when the kickers do what they do.
How about
22 missed kicks last week?
Unreal. No, that one of the reasons I like Minnesota is I don't think Carolina is going to be able to expose them deep. If it's short stuff, then Minnesota can do a fine job defensively, and then you flip the script, and Minnesota has winning advantages with their wide receivers against the current state of the pass defense for Carolina. I'm a little nervous about the Carolina pass rush against the Minnesota offensive line. That's about the one weakness, but not enough for me to make Carolina the favorite in that game. The other bet I made today, and I want your thoughts on this. I grabbed Rams Giants under 47.5, expecting that's going to go to 47. Some of that obviously conditional on the availability of the quarterback. I think this is going to be the Mike Glennon show. I think in general, you're dealing with a number of injuries to the skill position players around the Giants, to where this is sort of a get right game for the Rams coming off a 10 days rest going to the East Coast.
I'm a little hesitant to rule out and generally I'm wrong about these concussions. I was last week with Teddy. Well, mostly I was just hesitant to make a call at all on Teddy. But the fact that Danny Dimes flew, they put him on an airplane. Like, it looked really bad, and then they just let him fly home. Like, that was kind of telling with the concussion. So we're sitting here Monday evening. It's a long way, but
Dimes plays. I'm still not that worried about it, honestly.
No, but it definitely is a couple. I have it about 2.5 point difference for the side, and then also that's probably a step up for the offense as well. Obviously, the way he's been slinging it and running the ball, he's a better quarterback. Doesn't need to be said, I guess. So
even if he is recovering from the concussion and does start, he's not going to get reps this week. He's going up against Aaron Donald. He is not going to be utilized as much in the running game, and that's been a huge element of his success.
Tony's carrying an injury now too.
Sacks out, probably. And Tony, you said Tony's carrying an injury. That's true. A lot of guys on it.
Yes, Saquon is out.
Yeah. Ooh, man.
Yeah, he's out for multiple weeks.
Ravens cannot catch a break with the referees tonight.
And Mike Glennon tells the band to play neck.
He does, yes.
Extra yard on quarterback sneaks. That's funny. Flying concussed players is a bad New York sports tradition. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, sometimes teams just make bad decisions.
Yeah.
Locked him in a dark bathroom on the flight back. Hey, yikes. Anything's possible. Remember when Deshaun was so beat up that he had to drive to the next game because he couldn't fly with how messed up he was?
Yeah, I do remember that. Somebody does
Bengals.
Good point. Ryan says Bengals moved to 3 off the 3.5. Don't agree with it, but
somebody is betting the Bengals
with the Bengals
every week.
If you're going to bet the Bengals, if you're going to bet the Lions, at least do it when they're indoors and the Jared Goff hand rain situation is not going to be a factor, I guess. So, but I'd usually like to get more than 3. Not interested in Detroit at a flat 3. That's for sure.
No, and I think it goes back because people have been betting the Bengals. Like, this is going to get run back to 3.5. I feel like it's not going to be one-way traffic.
Any thoughts on next Monday night's game with Buffalo and Tennessee? Did we get the very best of Buffalo this last week in primetime, and now this is potentially a letdown look?
Real quick, back to the Giants game too, though. Yeah. It could turn into what we saw from Kyler last season after the injury. The hef
fucking sucks.
The hef brings up a good point. If they do play Danny Jones, they might just not opt to run him at all, and that does limit their playbook. That's a good point as well. So probably not a big difference between a limited Jones and a Mike Glennon here. What were you asking about the Buffalo Bills now?
Do you think there's market sentiment to sell the Bills after the big game?
I do. I think they're kind of that team that's getting towards the top of their range, but I cannot, for the life of me, consider taking the Titans under a touchdown with that secondary. Yeah. It's just my numbers are going to say, hey, the Titans are you should bet them at 6. You should bet them maybe at 5. This is a spot where you should be taking the points, but in no way, shape, or form am I going to do that with the deep balls looking good for Josh Allen, and that secondary is worse than Kansas City's. They're going to get scorched several times during that game.
No ability.
You're going to feel and a worse pass rush than Kansas City. So this is an easier test for the Buffalo Bills on offense.
I know, so but there's there'll be some market sentiment probably that you're getting a few free points with Tennessee because, the Bills just did what they did on Sunday Night Football against the Kansas City Chiefs when nobody believed in them, kind of thing, Like people will immediately upgrade the Bills just based on that result, and it may not tell us much about the strength of the team ultimately. They may play an average game, or, I don't know. I'm not saying that trying to make a case to bet against them. In fact, if anything, you maybe play in that game, I'm probably looking for Buffalo team total over 30.5.
Keep giving me those. Yep.
I mean, I don't
Every
know
week, parlay Buffalo team total over with whoever Georgia plays team total under.
Ooh.
And then just take it to the bank.
Just the all-time defense, Georgia Bulldogs.
They are. And we've talked 11 NFL players on that squad. Folks are finally respecting the and Georgia, also a producer of fine NFL kickers, although bad timing on that. I think because of the Blankenship miss.
Yeah,
Beasley props over.
He knew he was going to miss that extra point. You know why? Because with those specs, he can see into the future.
That's not true. Is it?
No.
And somebody did ask, like,
oh man,
I know how I feel about this.
Lamar with the brilliant escapability to convert that first down. Oh, and he's still on his feet. He's going to get an extra 10 yards. Nasty.
So do you make the Titans defense worse than the Chiefs?
Oh yeah,
just with your rankings. So,
yeah.
I have them like 4 spots lower.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're in the same tier, but I make them.
Yeah.
Worse. Yeah.
But it's just going to be the same thing where, oh no, Diggs is 1-on-1 with a safety who can't run as fast as him. What's going to happen here?
Thought though about the Titans defense is the Titans defense is like a good get right spot for a young quarterback because there's no pass rush, right? And it's a good over team in general because the pass rush isn't going to be able to end the game.
And I think that's where, you bring up a really good point. Like those secondaries are probably equally shitty, but Kansas City has some semblance of a pass rush sometimes. The only time we've seen Tennessee have a pass rush for like years now, it seems, was against the Colts a few weeks back when Wentz just couldn't move. Like he was playing at the beginning of those real bad ankle injuries, and he couldn't move at all, and he was making them look like they had a pass rush because he'd just stand and eventually someone would get near him and pull him down to the ground. So, Tennessee's been a little disappointing, even though I have bet on them the past 2 weeks and actually cashed in on that. So
yeah, good job.
I guess I'm done with them for now. So why not just hit the Bills at less than 6 then?
Yeah,
I'd rather take some team total, I guess, than worry about backdooring.
Southpaw. It's a bad spot, but bad spots, you know what? They haven't really mattered this year. Other than the Rams against the Cardinals. That was the only bad spot that really manifest that I can think of.
I'm better than Sorensen. You are.
Otherwise,
Kevin.
And actually, that's like the funny thing is I'm looking and thinking about it. It's been a bad start to the season for me betting NFL for sure. And I especially am annoyed because there have been some that were like in hindsight, like, yeah, fuck, it was right there. This was a no doubter. It wasn't even a sweat. A lot of my wins have been sweats. I'm not getting the easy ones, which is really kind of frustrating. And yeah, I think I got to look a little harder for some of the lower hanging fruit here and rely less on things like, oh, it's a letdown spot. Oh, there's a couple free points here. Oh, this was a market over adjustment. I think that's getting a little too cute right now because there are some other bigger macro things you can pop. But anyway, we'll talk about
pop
that more.
Music. Let's talk before we go. Let's talk the London game a little. Miami is getting bet. Tua is trending towards a possible return. How do you feel about Tua to play?
I'm expecting him to play. I'm expecting him to play.
I'm like 80-20 that he plays right now, just based off the news.
My adjustment to their offense with Tua instead of Brissett is no adjustment.
I did a half point just because it made me feel like I felt disrespectful to Tua, but really watching the games when we got Brissett in, other than that first half of the first game he played where his ADOT was the length of his arm, it wasn't a huge difference to the way that offense looked. So,
yeah.
So I bumped him up a half a point just because Brissett kind of sucked. Maybe Brissett Brissett, my expectations for Brissett were slightly higher than he performed. And I probably should have dropped him down, even though I didn't really drop him down that much. What happened to Miami's defense? Not 100% sure. That's worth digging into. They're not getting the pressure. We're not seeing some of the blitzes I liked last year. And really, the secondary's been rough. The only thing about Miami, too, is the wide receiver injuries probably has me scared off them. Although it is the Jaguars, and the Jaguars are. I mean, if the Jaguars run for 250 and pass for 250, Miami's in trouble. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. Who do you think wins this Rays Sox game? Red Sox
Is
with
it
a
tied?
man on second, tied 5-5.
See, I was gonna say.
You're up to 28 hits, runs, and errors.
Well, when it was tied at 5-5 and I was on the 27, I assumed I'd get the win because somebody was going to win the game.
You got an error. That was the 28th HRE.
Oh,
how about that?
Error. There we go. Anybody who doesn't, I totally just swiped that from the AD's Motorsports Odds website. I was just looking. I'm like, God, does he have any baseball stuff today? I don't have any opinions on these plays. I'm hoping Tampa Bay wins. I have a small future on them, and I'd like to see the series go one more. Cool. Rain delay in the Coco Bedosa match. Boo.
Yeah.
Sale is warming.
You know what's really rare? You know what's super rare? Rain in Indian Wells. Is it a rain delay or is it wind delay? Because it's windy as fuck.
Do you remember that tournament like 5 years ago when the men played in Qatar and there was like 3 days? No, there was like 3 days where the tennis got rained out, and we went and looked.
Dubai.
Like their yearly, their yearly precipitation was like 2.5 inches for the whole year, and we got 3 days of rain in the middle of Dubai. It was awful. How about the ground rule double last night? You know what sucks about that ground rule double? That was called correctly. It doesn't feel fair. It doesn't feel right. But by the rules that were written, that was the call. And I guess the umpire has some discretion in that. But it didn't look like I'm going to chest bump this out of bounds or whatever you want to call this.
Yes, she is. Yes, that's probably correct. Iga is on fire right now. And funny, like a little later than a year to her French Open just dominating run. So whatever it is about this time of the calendar, Iga Swiatek is electric.
Are you implying she's some sort of cycle with energy and hormones and
blood moon cycle of some sort? I can't really.
Not that kind of cycle. I'm talking steroids.
I can't really comment on that one way or the other.
Oh yeah, I go to steroids and you go right to menstruation. Jeepers, this is how we get canceled, Drew. Although it is a beautiful natural process.
Well, I said I can't comment.
That's why we're all here.
I refuse to.
Equal to the fumble out of the bounds in the end zone rule. I don't know if it's that bad, but it's not great. It's an awful rule. Fenway is the only park where that can happen.
Do you think 3rd and 8 that the Lamar Jackson Ravens can convert this red zone opportunity to a touchdown, or are we in kick another short field goal territory? 3rd and 8.
Regret.
3rd and 8
Tucker
at the 17. What's your prediction?
I'm thinking it's gonna be a dump off to like a running back for 6 yards.
Well, 2 plays ago there was a dump off and Latavius Murray doinked it off of his hands. Ooh,
Ravens
Duvernay.
to the one. Devin
right.
Duvernay secretly becoming a good player.
Yes.
We had him first touchdown score. That would have felt good. He was like 40-1.
All I know is that if it's canceling season, where were you guys last week with the Urban Meyer stuff? You know? Like,
I don't know. This stuff from Chucky's pretty rough. Like,
I know.
Like, there's 2 lessons here. The first lesson is don't send stuff like that on work emails, but also don't be a shit ass. Like, just don't be a shitty person. Oh no. Fumble 6. And it's bedtime.
Are you fucking shitting me?
I'm gonna sit down.
What?
That did not.
Has anyone seen the replay and he absolutely was not down?
That didn't go to plan.
It looked like he was down. Has anyone seen the replay of this?
cursed.
What? Reminiscent of Lamar Jackson in Buffalo last year in the divisional round of the playoffs. He had. I can't believe he wasn't down. I mean, it was. Oh, that is very fucking close. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sorry to anyone's teasers.
I think he was fumbled. No, I think he was fumbling. God damn it. All right, well, that's it.
Who was it?
Well, Lamar just dropped the ball as he was getting tackled at the one, trying to like move it between hands. It was absolutely it was a bang bang, but he's got the ball kind of going between hands as his knee touches the ground, and then it just dribbles out.
That's not great.
And then the guy literally picked it up, lateraled it, and that was it. That was as sloppy as I've seen in a long time. Wow.
Yeah, maybe they want a competitive game, and they'll just.
What happened in the Red Sox game? This is insane now too. Red Sox challenge the tag. Hunter Renfroe flies into a double play. Center fielder to third baseman Yandy Diaz. They are challenging that though.
Oh, there's a challenge in both games. Sports sucks.
Yeah, man.
Replay
not my day.
Sucks.
Not my weekend.
Out. Call them out.
Yeah. All right.
Honestly,
let's wrap this up. This is
of all of this stuff. Of all the signals in sports by the refs or anything, out is the strongest. When they do the replay and then they come out and just throw up the fist like that, that's a strong move. Although home run is too.
That Lamar Jackson fumble was really, really sloppy.
I mean, they're calling it a touchdown, right?
I'm guessing. I haven't seen.
I'd love to. Yeah, I'm not watching.
Believe it or not, there's been a lot of commercial breaks.
Somebody said, I don't think
we'll break in. Hopefully, we'll break in and get another report from Adam Schefter about the Raiders situation, because that's what I'd really like to know about.
Good point by Foos. There's football on a Tuesday. We've got college football tomorrow. We've got hockey. You got Kraken Knights. You've got Tampa versus shittier team than Tampa that they're going to beat up on. I think they're like 2-1 favorites, 1-2 favorites rather. So Fun Belt, 2 hockey games. We got baseball tomorrow. We got the resumption of the White Sox series. They're going to go with Rodon anyway, even though they got a day of rest. So that might be the end of that. And yeah, it's kind of a fun week in sports. And the NBA starts next Tuesday.
Yeah, definitely ready for that.
Oh, the Penguins. The Penguins aren't a shitty team. The Penguins are just a team who's missing all their good players right now. So that's why Tampa's like minus 190.
Jesus, man.
Have we not got a conclusion on this yet?
No, they're still taking a deep look on the Microsoft Surface.
Microsoft Surface tablet.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like his knee was not down, and he is fumbling it between one hand and the other hand. I think they're going to give the Colts the touchdown. That was really.
That's a good way to flip a game.
What's funny is that if he had, yeah.
This is one of those, like, somebody brought this up. When they review something this long, they usually screw it up. So the fact that we think it's a fumble is going to make me laugh.
Oh man, I'm seeing the outfield throw now, and this was also extremely close. What a freaking defensive play, though! Holy smokes!
Oh, they're going to say the Colts got the ball, but they did not return it all the way. Maybe someone's saying, "I'm not watching this."
No. Either way, I think Ravens minus 5.5 is a loser. I will take the L.
Also, let's just say that this holds on. Did you think at some point this year we would have a week where the only team, where all 4 teams played, and the only team in the AFC North to win would be the Steelers?
No. No.
That is going to be something if this holds on.
How about it happening for the second time?
Fumble, but
Oh
no
no, the
TD.
Bengals.
No. The Bengals
won
beat the
week 1.
Vikings in week
Yeah.
1, although that was a
Bengals beat
close
the
game. Illegal forward pass by Indy, so that was not a lateral, no touchdown. So I guess we can get a stop here. I'm going to go inside
Yeah,
and
right.
drink.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah. Ravens defense is definitely going to do it. Just call it.
Sure, they're just gonna buckle down and take care of business now.
All right, man. All right. Well,
All
enjoy
right.
your night.
Hey,
Let's
thanks
regroup.
for joining in. Give me a thumbs up. We'll see you on Wednesday. Huh?
All right. See ya.
Bye, boys.